problems like the failure of prisons to reform prisons. Given these big challenges, the argument is to focus on a very few number of men who are imprisoned in women's prisons is a bit of a distraction, almost irrelevant. But I think it's true, it's clear from those who are here today, that there are many who think it's highly relevant and it's highly important. Because without an objective definition of what it is to be a man or a woman, how is it possible to run prisons that are based on segregation of the sexes? How is it possible to run a prison for women? Now, the consequences of this confusion are significant, because if we can't get even basic things right, like who is a man and who is a woman, how on earth are we going to solve the really serious problems in our prisons? And we can see the effects of this confusion in current policy. As it stands today, male prisons are by default single-sex institutions. Women who identify as or claim to be men continue to be held in the women's estate for really obvious reasons. Women's prisons, on the other hand, are by default mixed-sex institutions. They are places also for men, apparently, men who claim to be women. What a mess. Now, it's long been a principle of the way that our prisons operate that prisons are segregated by sex, and that women are imprisoned separately from men, and for good reason. To help prevent unplanned pregnancies, for example, regardless of the consensual nature of the sexual activity. To protect women from sexual violence by men, or at least to reduce the risk of sexual violence by men, because let's remember there are also male prison officers in women's prisons. To give women privacy and dignity in what is a very traumatic and difficult set of institutions. To ensure that women who've been traumatised by male violence are not re-traumatised by being asked to share their spaces with men. These are really important reasons why, for many, many years, there has always been the principle that women are imprisoned separately from men. And we need to hold on to that, and we need to remind people of that. Now, housing males in women's prisons undermines that whole principle of women's prisons. You cannot run a women's prison if you have men also in prison. It is a mixed-sex institution at that point, not a women's prison. It places the claims and demands of male prisoners beyond the needs of women's prisoners. And that is a very old story within the prison state. Women have always been treated as some kind of inconvenient, optional add-on to prison policy, or to prisons in the way that they operate. This is a very old story, and it is a story of misogyny. And what we are seeing currently with the trans prison policy is just the latest example of that underlying misogyny. Now, the good news is that we are winning this argument. And as Kate explained, there are reasons to be cheerful about the possibility of real, meaningful change. The bad news is that this is going to take some time to sort out, and victory is certainly not inevitable or assured. So we have to be really clear, we have to be really focused, we have to be very clear in our demands. We need to be clear that the current policy is not good enough. We need to be